What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. I wanted to walk you through the new Way of the Hunter update 1.29.1. The devs rolled out a focused patch that's small on scope, but pretty pointed in impact. And it's one of those updates that mixes new content with a handful of fixes that actually touch the way your world behaves under the hood. Things like population behavior, naming accuracy, and save protection that matter whether you're a casual drop-in player or someone who keeps multiple long-running save files. First up, the most visible thing. Turkeys have been added to two of the maps players know and love, Perce Valley and Matariki Park. If you're picturing big, lumbering birds, think instead of a nimble, skittish quarry that needs its own approach. The team put their need zones into the encyclopedia so you can unlock their behavior profiles as you discover them, which is a nice touch because it means they're not just a visual one-off, they're integrated into the ecology. For anyone who likes bird mechanics, calling, stealth, and quick pickups, turkeys introduce a different pacing to hunts compared to hoofed game. Community clips have already shown players testing shotguns and bows, and generally laughing when a flock explodes out of a brush patch, which is exactly the kind of emergent moment these additions are meant to create. Beyond the new species, there were a few quality of life and stability fixes that I want to unpack, because they affect long-term saves and the world simulation. One of the fixes addressed a problem where mule deer could spawn in unusually high numbers near the lodge. To the player, this could look like odd crowding, and in some cases, even cause performance spikes or instability if the local population ballooned too suddenly. The patch specifically targets that spawn behavior, so the immediate area around player hubs returns to more realistic densities, and that means fewer surprises when you step outside your lodge door. Less chance of a screen full of deer, and more consistent tracking and trophy expectations. Another technical but important change is that the herd genetics reset has been stopped going forward. If you've been tracking lineage, coat patterns, or other long-term herd attributes, you'll know how jarring it is when a population resets and wipes out the accumulated variety you'd come to expect. The devs recognized that and implemented the change so herds maintain their genetics instead of reverting unpredictably. That matters for players who invest in knowledge of their reserve's population structure because it preserves the continuity of the world. Your careful observations and your photo logs aren't suddenly invalidated by an automatic reset. There's also an important save-related note that I'll highlight plainly. The update included protections for save files for players who hadn't launched the game after the update. If you'd backed up saves or simply hadn't opened the game since the patch, the devs added safeguards so those saves wouldn't be accidentally clobbered. It's a pragmatic move that shows they were aware of edge cases and wanted to prevent folks losing progress or seeing weird state changes when they first booted the updated build. Even though it's a behind-the-scenes change, it's precisely the kind of thing that keeps long-term players from losing faith after an update. There's a small but noteworthy localization tweak as well. The English name for Merriam's turkey was corrected. It's easy to shrug off name fixes as trivial, but when you're dealing with an encyclopedia of species and you've got players referencing animals by name in guides, videos, and collections, naming accuracy helps everyone stay on the same page. The devs mentioned that other localizations will be adjusted in a later pass, which is fair. Getting the primary language right first and then rolling out translations avoids introducing more confusion. From a community perspective, the timing around the turkey release was deliberate. The team teased the arrival and content creators got early access to trial the birds, which meant there was immediate footage and feedback floating around the usual channels as players explored where turkeys like to hang out and how they react to different baits and calls. That early footage helps set expectations. These aren't giant, high-value trophies like elk or moose, but they do add variety, and variety is the core of replayability in a simulation-heavy title. Expect them to be a nice seasonal addition that encourages a handful of new playstyles. Quick flushes, careful decoying, and a different kind of stealth. All of these changes together reveal a philosophy. Small targeted content plus stability tweaks that protect player investment. It's not an overhaul, but it's meaningful. New animals give reasons to re-explore old maps, fixes to spawn and genetics protect the ecology you've been cataloging, and safeguards reduce update anxiety. If you're someone who documents the game, collects photos, or just enjoys the incremental discovery process, this kind of update quietly improves the day-to-day experience without forcing you to relearn the fundamentals. So that's the rundown. Turkeys in Perce Valley and Matariki Park, corrected naming, mule deer spawn fixes near the lodge, the herd genetics reset stopped, and saves protected for those who hadn't launched yet. The patch might not rewrite your entire play loop, but it smooths a few rough edges and adds a playful seasonal critter to hunt for.